Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Northumberland Rock Hopper. Tonight we are back on a beach, same beach as I fished a couple of weeks ago up at Hawksley. The last time I come up here I was expecting a bit of sea running, and when I got here there wasn't. There was literally nothing. I still had 4 fish that night, so I thought with the sea running tonight, running quite well, I thought I'm going to tackle Hawksley again and see what it's like in a bit better conditions. Now, there is a lot of weed about. I've seen it lying all over the beach, and on my way across the beach from Hatton car park there's kelp stalks all over. So this could be quite a short session, depending on what happens. Just up tonight for a bit of fun over high water, 2 hours up, 2 hours down. I'm all set up, ready to go. The tide's flooding in, there's a good chance we're going to pick up weed. Hopefully not though, hopefully we can dodge it long enough to get a fish. I have walked past another couple of anglers on the pulpits, and there's a couple of anglers at the moment further up to my, about another 150 yards up to my left there. Let's see if we can get a cast out without having any major disasters tonight. Oh, there's a lot of kelp lying there, like. I'm just going to go up to my left a little bit to combat that wind. Hopefully if I can keep a high enough line with that cast, hopefully I'll stay above the weed. First test for the waders, because I've just fixed a repair. Yeah, there's a lot of weed in the water as well. This could turn out to be a disaster. And so far so good, I haven't felt any water in the waders. And I'm past the tear. The alarm off this time. Try not to let too much slack line drop in the water. Now obviously if I wasn't making a video, I'd be standing in the water there, knee height, with the rod nice and high on my hip, keeping it up as long as possible. Oh, forget me watch. There's always something, isn't there? With all this weed about, I very much doubt it's a night for really keeping it in the stand. I've got a great selection of bait this evening. I've brought about 15 cart wings and a load of squid, and that's all I've got, to be honest. I've got half a bag of mussel. Got a nice northeasterly run at the moment, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to fish tonight. Should have been a new ship's Christmas fair yesterday, but that was called off obviously for safety reasons with that storm Darragh. So the first cast is in anyway and we're fishing. So we'll take it from there and see what happens. So I've gone with a 100-pound braid here straight through. This is my heavy ground gear because there is rocks and scares and weed. There's everything here. I could go lighter, but if I get a big Christmas tree worth of kelp on, I'm going to struggle to pull it in. So I need something strong enough to be able to pull in massive. I mean, look at the kelp. Can you see that on the beach here? That's all the way along the beach here. Look at that. Loads of it. So I'm going to need a bit of security. The thing with braid is obviously you can fish a lot heavier than you can with mono, and it doesn't really interfere. You don't really get broke out as often as with the braid as you would with a mono. So far I think I've managed to avoid the weed on this cast. Frustrating as it is when you are picking up weed, sometimes you've just got to try and fish through it. You might only pick weed up for like a certain period of the tide. It might be over the top of the tide, it might be as it turns and goes out. You might get it the full session, and that's a nightmare when that happens. I'll be honest, it's getting to that point where I think worm starts coming into its own more now, and I haven't got any. I don't really like fishing beaches when I haven't got fresh worm, and plenty of it as well. I have a lot more confidence when I've got a bucket full of worm. But if there's enough fish about and there's a bit of competition for feed, then you know, if you just put a decent bait out there, something might pick it up. And that's why nights like this are perfect. You just, no competitions or anything, just go out there, and you've got to do your research on marks, you know, you've got to go and try them. Keep a little notepad on when it fishes, when you picked fish up, what stage of the tide, what baits, what conditions there were. And then when conditions are similar in the future, you can always check back through your little notebook and try and match conditions and try and match marks with where you've had success in the past. This has only been in 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, but so far I don't think I've picked any weed up on that cast. There's a lot of grassy stuff about as well. I think I picked up a little bit of weed there, but that's not the end of the world. It's not a lot at the minute. As long as you can get your 25 minutes out of it, you should be fine. I'm running the risk of picking weed up though by having it in the tripod. Like I say, I should be probably standing in the water there. Once the tide floods in and picks all this kelp up that's lying around the beach, that might make it interesting. So the rigs I'm using tonight are nothing special. You've seen them all before. I have pulley rigs and I have me paternosters with a slide and breakaway cribs. Oh, I think that was a bait. That certainly looked like a bait from back there. Could just be weed though. It would look like a bait leg, but not convinced. It looked like a bait, but there's a big ball of weed next to me tripod leg, so it may have just been that. Lovely bit of sea running now. Perfect for here, really. Yeah, I've picked a bit of weed up on that cast. I may have moved 20 or 30 yards further along. You see it bending in the waves there. Yeah, I might just move another 20 or 30 yards to my left. When I eventually come to pull this in, oh, it's even blown up the line. Exactly what we didn't want to happen. Yeah, I'm going to have to bring it in. It's moving me sinker now. There must be that much on. Oh my God, look at it. Oh, I'm just gonna move my stuff back and carry on this battle. This is what we're dealing with. This could put Peter to a decent session. But exactly what we didn't want to happen has happened, and the weeds turned up, loads of it. I've moved 30 yards up to the beach to my left. I've put the same bait back out because I'm expecting to get weed again here. I will bait up another trace and keep going until it becomes absolutely pointless. I really need to be standing in the water to give myself a chance here. I think I'll just try straight wing on this one. I've been having a lot of success on squid and wing lately, but I'm a firm believer that it's canny big wing, frozen solid. I'm a firm believer of the worms, good supply of fresh worms, whether it be blacks, yellowtails, or even good old blow lug. Always happier when I've got worm. Right, well I think I've got a load of weed on that one again. Ooh, that was a bite actually. Oh, I'm snagged as well. No! I think there's a fish on there. I'll give that a bit of slack. That may be the kiss of death. How far's my camera away? So I found the rocks. Typical. Pretty sure there's a fish on here. Yeah, that's not coming out, I don't think. It's a bit of gentle pressure and see if we can just release it from whatever it's stuck to. I have got a rotten bottom on here. You would think if there's a fish on, then it wouldn't be the hook that snagged. That's very, very solid, that lee. There's a lot of kelp on there, on my line as well. God, how strong is that? Ah, there. I've lost something there. Everything. Bollocks. I think I was a fish on there. Didn't feel very big, but I could feel it nodding. Unfortunately, it was just solid. Like I see there is fish there. Right, third or fourth cast, can't quite remember. I'm actually going to turn the camera off for a little bit and stand in the water and see if I can keep this up out the weed a little bit longer and see if we can get a fish. There was definitely a fish on that last one, but I was snagged solid, and I can see a poor knot let us down there. Didn't feel very big, but it is what it is. Well, that's typical, I was right. Had to stand in the water and hold the rod up on my hip. Keep it out of the weed. And that was in 5 minutes on the bottom. First fish. 2 3/4 pound maybe. Get it back because it's full of life. It was beautifully lip hooked on a circle. Got a mouthful of weed. Get that back. Beautiful. I knew there was fish here. It's tough, you know, the weed dictates your night. That was on just wing. And like, that wasn't on the bottom 5 minutes that. I haven't got one baited up, so in 2 casts here, I've had one on and lost. Snagged up. And just getting that lovely little one there. Off the blank anyway. I thought it was a bit bigger than what it actually was because it put up a good account of itself. Right, I've got another one. ready to go there. Get that clipped on and out. I had a feeling that would happen, like if I stood in the water I'd get a fish, but unfortunately it doesn't make for good viewing. So I'm going to put it in the tripod here, and I bet I end up with loads of weed. Hands are covered in sand. I've just set my timer there, so 11 minutes from casting out, pulling that fish in, rebaiting and casting out again, 11 minutes. So when they're there, they're there. Hopefully I'll get a few more, but I'm taking a chance by leaving it in the stand there. I see I've got weed on instantly there. It's just lots of grassy stuff in the surf. This time I've gone for wing and a bit of muscle. See, I don't mind a bit of weed, I can handle a bit of weed, but when it becomes an absolute nightmare and very difficult to deal with. And the cold is playing havoc with these batteries. Don't last anywhere near as long in the cold. Quite a bit of fret rolling in there. So I'm one rig down now. I think it was the pulley that I lost. See how it's bouncing back rather than slamming down. That's obviously the weed on here, on the line getting there. Push back towards us as the waves come in. Ooh, for a second there, that's weed as well, like, but for a second there I thought that was a bait. Yeah, I can see a bit of weed on there right in the surf again like before. Yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to hold the rod. Once the tide starts going out, it might not be that bad, like. I'm the only person for 100 yards either side of me, well, at least 100 yards. Maybe a bit further on my left. And there's nobody on me right as far as I can see. Like I say, there was 2 or 3 people on the pulpits, which I showed in the video the other week. Can't remember exactly when it was. Yeah, I think I may have wasted this cast by not holding it. But most of the weeds at the front here in the surf, I've still got a bait in the water. So it'll get to the point where I'll either get that much weed, it'll break my sinker out, or a fish might actually get the bait and break it out. Then I've got to try and get it back in though, with a load of weed attached. Now I'm not exactly sure how many casts I've had. I've had 5, 6, 7 casts, something like that. Weed's been a nightmare now. Even if I stand in the water and hold it, I'm still getting weed. And it's just dragging me sinker. I've got weed again there now. I've literally had 2 minutes. Well, it's fast becoming an absolute nightmare. Weed every cast now. Gutting really, because like I say, I know there's fish there, but I just can't get past them. So I've got one baited up. I'm going to go and stand in the water with that one. Hopefully I can leave it in there long enough to get a fish, but if this comes back full of weed, I think I might pack up, possibly go along to Newbury and see if I can pick something up there. If not, if there's weed there as well, it'll be an early finish, I think. Because there's no point just wasting bait. I can't keep it on the bottom for more than a couple of minutes. If I can get 10 minutes out of it, I'd probably get a fish, but just can't. Well guys, what can I say? That's become unfishable. Seconds of casting out, it's just back on my feet. I actually snapped off there. I had that much kelp on, I couldn't even pull it in. I'm going to try along there. I think I'm wasting my time. I think after that storm, Darragh, there's weed everywhere. I'll have a look along there. If there's anyone else fishing there and they say they're not getting weed, I'll tackle back up and have a go. Like I say, it's not renowned. I don't think there's a high water mark along there on that beach, but it's a good low water mark. So perhaps they're roaming the beach, and who knows. I'll have a go, or I'll have a look anyway. But we're getting a fish anyway, and we've managed to catch one and put it back, so it hasn't been a total waste if that's the only fish we get tonight. I've tried my best, and you just got to know when to call it, really. Right, I'll get my gear and get along there anyway and have a look. Well people, I'm sorry, but that's it. Yeah, I've tried my best. I've been all over this beach. I can't escape the weed. I've even come onto this concrete platform here at high tide, try to ground cast one as far as I can. I just cannot beat the weed. I cannot get past it. It's I've tried. I'm getting one fish, so it hasn't been a total disaster. Probably should have had 2, but obviously I got one snagged up there. It was definitely on that, but it is what it is. If you can't get them out, you technically haven't caught them, have you? Right. So I'm not sure what kind of video this is going to be like, but you know, you have to show the good and the bad. It's been a very, very tough night. The one cast that I actually managed to get out there properly for more than 5 minutes, and I got a fish. We'll just have to try maybe at the weekend, see what happens. But it's getting closer to Christmas, so who knows when we'll get out again, but I'll try to keep getting out. And until next time, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Tight lines.